Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm back home in Ontario and I was doing some research online trying to get a video idea, and I saw this story that I thought would be really interesting to make a video on, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Kitchener is situated smack in the center of southwestern Ontario. Toronto is about 70 miles east, London 68 miles west.
A daily newspaper, the KW Record, serves the district with a circulation of 32,500. 19% of Canada's population reside within a 100-mile radius of Kitchener. And the city boasts one of Canada's leading independent TV stations, CKCO TV, serving over 250,000 homes in central and western Ontario. Kitchener is on a crisscross of provincial highways 5, 7, 8, and 85. The city is also served by Canada's two leading railways, the Canadian National and Canadian Pacific.
Our story starts August of 1939 in North Dumfries. Jessie Oliver leaves her home to go to the Milroy homestead. She's looking for flour, and she had baked a pie to give to Annie Milroy, who was John's sister. Jessie showed up and she knocked on the door. She walked in and asked if anybody was home, and she heard no response. She had thought that Annie was taking a nap and left the pie on the table for her to enjoy later. Jessie then ended up going back to her house and lying down and taking a nap. Jessie then awoke to the fearful screams of her mother. Her mother had made a gruesome discovery. John and Annie Milroy had been murdered in their home. Now, Jessie's mother, who had justifiably started screaming because of the gruesome discovery, had ran back home and called a doctor, Dr. L.H. Douglas. When Dr. Douglas arrived to the crime scene, he had pronounced the two bodies dead on sight. Now, because of the publicity of this murder and how it went into the media, a lot of people who were curious about what had happened started to arrive to the farm. The police had to up their security. They put locks on the doors. They had day and night security just to make sure that the crime scene wasn't tampered with. But the cops had found one man, Reginald White, or Reggie for short. And in one night in being in jail, Reggie confessed to the two murders of John and Annie Milroy. He had gone there to receive his money that he had been owed for past work on the farm, or so he said. The sum was $500. Reggie had brought a gun, but he had brought the wrong ammo. When he showed up and asked for his money, something happened and there was a fight that broke out. There's nowhere that I have seen what the reasoning was for the fight. Annie had been awoken by the fight. She came down and tried to defend her brother. Reggie then took an axe and murdered the both of them. It took just over 3 hours for the verdicts to come in on Reggie. He had been found guilty for both of the homicides, and he was sentenced to execution. He was executed April 25th, 1940, and he was buried in the exercise court behind the jail. Now, the jail closed in 1978, and it stood vacant for a couple years, but there was people who were trying to knock it down, and my guess is probably eventually develop the land that was there. But because of the bodies that were there, because of the executions and the burials, they were unable to knock the building down and rebuild because under provincial law, it was considered a cemetery. So there were tons of digs with archaeologists from U of W trying to find these three bodies all the way from 1980 to 2001. Now in 1984, they wound up finding two of the bodies. They were never able to find Reggie White. Still to this day, they cannot find Reggie White. In 2009, they decided that they might just never find the body. And there are a couple theories that go along with this, a couple local legends. Number one, a lot of people believe that Reggie White was buried with limes so that his body would disappear quicker. And the second theory, which seems to be a folklore in Hespeler area, is that the body of Reggie White was taken by his family and they cremated him and spread his ashes on an island in Old Mill Pond. I don't know. And honestly, I don't think we'll ever know. Now let's go explore this place for ourselves. Alright, so we're walking up to the location. I don't know, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know why. Wow, is this place ever ancient? So in the articles I was reading, it says that they were buried in the exercise yard. This is one of the exercise yards here on the plaques. Well, there seems to be some sort of signage here showing the archaeologists from the University of Waterloo who came here and tried to find the bodies that were buried. So after looking at the board, it seems that this garden right in front of me is the one where they buried the bodies. And the one where one remains still unfound. It's locked up right now, but it seems that there's a bench and some lights in there. So, I wonder if in the summertime if you can come back here and you can kind of see the garden. Oh. We'll have to come back in the summertime and check this out for sure when I'm back in Ontario. But what an eerie story. I got the opportunity to go inside and kind of check out some of the artifacts that were there. They're on display, so you can go in there too. They had artifacts from when they were digging up some of the bodies that they found, old bones from the animals they used to cook, and bottles and old pipes and stuff like that are super cool, or keys. But they also have bricks with people's names chiseled in them and pictures of the old cells and, you know, the inmates' names on the walls. It's honestly, it's a pretty cool piece of history that I never really knew about until, you know, doing some Google searching, and people had seen some of that stuff, but it's cool to have a story to tell about it, you know? But I got a really cool opportunity to talk to somebody who worked at the courthouse, and she was saying that there has been a little bit of weird coincidences, but nothing too crazy, no full body apparitions, but just, you know, the sound on radios turning all the way up or radios turning off completely, and they say that it's the ghost, and they've named it Reggie. But yeah, I find it a super interesting story, a piece of Kitchener history that I never knew about. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I was trying to make it a little bit more of a Netflix documentary style video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
We hope you've enjoyed this film tour of the industrial city of Kitchener. If you'd like further information, write the Industrial Commissioner, Kitchener, Ontario, Canada.